Okay, and welcome to the first podcast of the Glass Eye. We have an interview today with Alan Leahy, head softball coach for the Kerwinsville Golden Tide softball team. 2007 and 2009 state champions at the single A level. So thanks for coming in, Alan.
Thanks for asking.
No problem. The first question we have is how long have you coached the team?
This was my 8th year as head coach, and I was an assistant for 1 year, so it's my 9th year in the program.
Okay. Um, and now, obviously, we've got two titles and 3 years here. What point this year did you realistically start to think that a second title was possible?
As a coach, I thought we could make it to the district finals because of our people coming back. And when did I really think? I think it really sunk in when we beat Union City, and that was the quarterfinals of the states. That I really thought we had a really good shot. We had to win one more game to get the states, but I thought after that game our bats came alive, and I thought we had a really good shot. If you ask the girls from day one, they were going to the ship. There was no doubt, and I mean I had to temper them some because they were really geared that this was the year that they were going to the state finals and getting back and winning.
Okay. Compare the two title teams if you can. What was different about them in your mind? 2007, 2009.
2009's chemistry was just phenomenal. I mean, they were a core group of girls that's been together forever, and they did not have I. Everything was for the team and to get to the state championship. I mean, they would give up at bats when they were struggling and have no question if we were in a couple situations where we took the bat out of a girl's hand, and usually they don't want to give up on a bat,
Mm-hmm.
especially a senior, and giving it to a freshman, and the freshman comes through, and that person knew that it was better at that time. I mean, said, Coach, do what we have to do to win the game. So their chemistry was just phenomenal. I mean, they got along, rooted for one another if they weren't in the starting lineup, uh, did everything they could to win the game. 2007, we had our clicks. I mean, they got along when it came to playing between the lines. I mean, they were tough as nails when it came to the game time, but they went their separate ways. They didn't come together as a core team. I don't think, other than during the games. During the games, they were together as one, but they didn't have that real friendship, real
Okay.
team orientation.
All right. Everybody knows about Holly Lansbury's dominance on the mound, but who would you consider as the unsung heroes, the underrated player that really, was kind of another leader on the team that you couldn't have got there without her? Maybe there's more than one.
Um, we had the big three: Holly, Ashley, and Shannon. And I always thought Shannon was sort of undertowed between the three because she did a lot. I mean, she was the player in the 2007 team. I mean, in the outfield, she actually gave up her position, and she's a great outfielder. And she gave her position up because it bettered the team to play shortstop in 2006 because our shortstop had graduated, Indiana Struble. So I brought her in, and she didn't really like the idea, but she was willing to do it for the team. And then she got through 2006 and did a very good job, but she was better this year. She was just phenomenal there. I mean, I don't think she had an error, and I've always said she had the sweetest swing out of anybody on the team. If you were going to pitch her or pattern somebody swinging the bat, a young girl, if you could pattern Shannon McDonald, she just had a sweet swing. And when it came off the bat, it just jumped off the bat.
Well, I see she had led the team in slugging percentage, doubles, so obviously a really good offensive player. Um, Let's look a little to the future. This was a very senior-dominated team. So I look at your roster. What's the outlook? I mean, are we looking at rebuilding here a little bit, or?
I lost six seniors that were key, and I had 9 seniors total. Um, yeah, everybody thinks we're going to fall by the wayside, but I can see us competing in District 9. I can envision us being in the district finals next year. And a lot of people say, what's he talking about? But I can really state that I think we'll be there. because we do have somebody to take Holly's place. I mean, Stacy Johnson's been waiting in the wings. She's been a great player, but people haven't seen her in the circle. I mean, just at spotting times. But I mean, in the summer, our opponents know she's there because they've seen her, and she's going to take over and do a great job. And we still have Lindsey Barrett, who was a backup player, who will be a senior, will step in and take Shannon's spot at shortstop, and she's very gifted defensively. So we're not going to lose anything there. We have Ashley's sister Molly, who's going to step in at third. Our outfield sort of set with Sarah and Tess coming back, so that's not a problem at all because we had Sarah, Tess, and Aaron in the outfield, and they were probably the best. Like I said all along, they were the best outfield in the state. And we told them all along, Holly kept knocking people down, kept knocking, getting strikeouts, and they weren't getting a lot of plays. But I said, sooner or later, you're going to win us a game. And if you look over the tape in the state game, our outfield won that game. I mean, they stepped up. They made every play. They made plays that looked easy, but were difficult. And ultimately, the Old Forge team's outfield let them down, and we got our run because their outfield misplayed a ball. But they stepped up and won that game for us. So we're gonna be good. We're gonna be competitive, and who knows? The ball bounces right. We get into the states.
You never know.
You never know.
Well, at the very least, it sounds like it won't be a complete, under 500 rebuilding, at least in your mind.
No.
So that's good. Any final thoughts about the 09 team? I mean, these moments are pretty special.
Yeah, they were. They were just a good group, and every coach should have a team like this. I mean, they were just special kids and every kid, every young lady on that team had a moment. I mean, because they were willing to, forget the I and go for the team. I mean, you can go from Janae Stiles to Morgan Peterman to Ashley Demchek to Holly to Tess. They all had a moment where they contributed, saved a game, came into key situations, and stepped up and made a play. I mean, and I could go right around and tell you the game, but there was a game or a moment that each young lady stepped in and produced. And those are the memories I'm going to remember. I mean, it's not, the state game was huge. I mean, I'll always remember being down there for the second time in 3 years and them refusing to lose. I mean, when we were 0-0, this team came off the field. It's the fourth inning, and I'm saying, girls, we need to pick it up. We need to get the backs going. And they're saying, Coach, they're not going to score. We could be here all night. We're eventually going to score. We're going to win. There's not a problem. We're going to win this game. And they just refused to lose. And they made a lot of memories. I mean, and they've set a lot of records, but we had a lot of memories that will be there forever.
Any of the girls, I assume some of them are going to go on to play at the next level in college.
Holly's signed to play for Lycoming, and she's going to go down there and play and be dominant at that level. Ashley Demchek's going to Bloomsburg and play at Bloomsburg. We had a couple other that are still out there, but I don't know if they're willing. Janessa Stiles is looking to she's going to Altoona, Penn State, and I'm positive she could play, but I don't know if she's more goal-orientated toward her grades and things, but that would be there if she elects to do that. Aaron Bressler is going to Slippery Rock, could have the opportunity to play there, but I don't know if Aaron's really going to step in there and want to do that.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming in here. Thanks much for your time. And Alan Leahy, ladies and gentlemen, our first interview podcast for the Glass Eye. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.